Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Olde Carr Guy. Today we're doing some paint correction on this 1968 Dodge Monaco. Let's get to it. So folks, if you're new to the channel, my name is Jason, this is Olde Carr Guy, and this is my brother-in-law's 1968 Dodge Monaco 500 with the 440 Magnum engine in it. We just got done doing a rebuild first start series on this. If you want to see more, then you can head up over here and check out the playlist of getting the car, tearing the engine down. I guess we didn't really do that, but we got it rebuilt and some of the struggles that we had along the way. Today we're going to be working away at paint correction on this car that's been sitting since 1986. Let's take a look and see what it is that we've actually got to do to make it look good again. So as you can see, we've got a pretty clean canvas to work with right out of the gate. Now, this car was originally bought in New Brunswick, Canada, and taken down to Florida in the late 70s. It was parked in 1986, and well, that's where it sat ever since. So the paint has gotten a little bit dirty, and if you look up here at the vinyl top, it's just covered in dust and grime just from sitting around. So what we've got to do today is we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna give this thing a nice bath, get the paint clean, and then we're gonna tackle some of these marks. We've just got some scratches there, over here. There is a couple of spots on the car where there is some paint damage. Now it looks like something was set on this, so we're gonna kind of avoid this area. We may get rid of the loose paint, but we will do some correction on that at some point. Some things have been dragged across it over the years. The plastics are a little bit pitted and the bumpers really look bad. We've got a cure for all of this. So the first things we gotta do is we gotta get the car washed. Let's do it. So the first thing we're going to do is we've got our pump sprayer. We're going to spray the whole car down with an all-purpose everything cleaner, like just something that's going to help loosen the dirt. Then we'll go over with our brush, we'll wash it down, we'll dry it off, and then we'll tackle certain parts of the vehicle, like the hood, the roof, the bumpers, all that sort of thing. We'll take it one step at a time, and you guys are going to see everything. Now the purpose of using the APC is to loosen up all the dirt. You see all these guys using the big foam cannons and stuff like that. Well, I don't have a foam cannon. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna let this set up for a few minutes. We're gonna add a little spray of water just to help get that stuff penetrating. And there's places you can see where it's just loosening up that dirt really nice and just kind of running down the sides of the car. Back here on the trunk lid was especially dirty. And it's going to be coming out really, really nice. Now we are going to be doing a special treatment on the plastics on the tail panel here, as well as up front on the grille. And then we're going to be using something different on the bumpers to help get those to shine again. So we come around to this side over here, same thing. I already did a small test panel right here. If you guys follow my Instagram, I'll leave it linked on screen here right now. If you don't, go over there and check it out, because we do a lot of updates and behind the scenes things while we're filming that you guys get to see actually before the video comes out. So make sure you find me over on Instagram at Olde Carr Guy, and we post videos and updates and stuff like that over there. So I'm gonna grab the hose, we're gonna spray it down a little bit. One thing that we're gonna do here on this vinyl top is we're gonna give it a little bit of scrub. Now, if you guys notice, the vinyl top is textured, that holds dirt. Same thing with these seams along here. So I've got this soft bristled vinyl brush that we're gonna go and we're gonna scrub down that whole roof section before we do any other part of the car. And once we get it rinsed off and it's dry, you'll see a huge difference on just giving a little soft scrub with a brush and get some of that dirt out. So that's enough talking. Let's go back to a time lapse and see if we can't get this thing all cleaned up. All right, now that my arms are about ready to fall off and we've got this scrubbed, we're gonna let that set up for a little bit longer. And now we're just gonna take a horsehair wash brush and we're gonna go over that. And the reason why I like the horsehair is because it's soft and it will be gentle on the paint. So we're gonna go give it just a regular wash with that first, and then we'll dry it down, and we'll see where the worst of our paint correction is, and anyways, be able to make it shine again and get that buffed out. So now we're just gonna give it a bath, and where we're gonna see the biggest differences are places like this, where if you give it a little bit of a scrub, you can kind of see the cleanness and the actual creamy colored white underneath shine through. I'm gonna go over the whole car and get this thing clean. Let's go. All right, now that we've got this car all washed up and scrubbed, one thing I hope that you noticed when I was doing the washing was I was doing one panel at a time. I was washing horizontally, and then I'd come back and I'd wash it vertically. And the reason why I do that is because when you're using a brush to wash a vehicle, you want to make sure all those little hairs or those fingers on the brush get into all the nooks and crannies. So if you're going in two directions, you're doing a couple of things. One, you're making sure you're getting into those nooks and crannies, but two, you're also making sure that you're covering every single spot on the car. Nothing bugs me anymore than seeing people who have washed their car themselves at a car wash or in the driveway, and you can see with the spots that they missed. So I always try to make it a habit of going over the panels twice. I rinsed my brush between each panel. That way I wasn't carrying over any excess dirt from one panel to the next. And when I was doing the roof, I also made sure I wasn't going full tilt on the spray, because a lot of these weather strips in around the windows, well, I mean, they're original to the car. So I noticed on the other side, I did get a little bit of water dripping on the inside of the window, but I mean, that's to be expected on an older vehicle. So just go lightly around your windows, and when you come up here onto the roof, just give it a little spray. That stuff will roll right off. The roof is slanted. The water will run away from it. So just looking over the initial car, there are still a few spots that are quite dirty. That's around the door handle here, the top of the door, and the top of this fender. And I'm chalking that up to greasy fingers when the engine came out, likely. So we're gonna have to do a little bit more work on getting that dirt off the tops of these two fenders. You come over to this side, and it's not as bad because, again, we did a little test panel, and you'll see kind of what it's gonna look like now that it's all wet. Once it's all shined up. I'm going to chamois this off, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you how we're going to correct the paint on this 1965 Monaco 500. And if you're looking for another way to support my channel, there's a couple things you can do. One is simply by subscribing, but two, you can head to my merch store. It's listed in the link down in the description box. You can buy some Olde Carr Guy t-shirts, as well as you can head to my Amazon store. The link is down there as well. Anything that you see as far as tools go that we use in my videos, generally I will try and put a link to those down in the description box. So you guys, if you want one, you can go ahead. I'm going to be using a DeWalt power buffer here shortly. That'll be down there as well. Okay, so we've got the car all dried off, and we're going to start on the hood. And the reason why I want to start on the hood is because I want to test our product to see if we can get rid of this grunge on the top of the fender, and we'll do half of the hood. That way we can show you the difference between the before and the after we do the buffing. I'm using a product that we've used for years. It's the 3M rubbing compound. It's 06085, and we're also using the yellow medium cut pad on the DeWalt buffer. The reason why we're using medium cut on the buffing pad is because this is likely original paint, and we do not know how it's going to stand up to buffing. We want to do a small little test area, make sure we're not losing a lot of color out of it, because it's probably single stage, which means there's not a lot of paint between the top surface and the bare metal. So the first thing I got to do is get the buffer cleaned up, and then we're going to do a small little test area right up here in this corner to see how well it does or stands up to the 3M product. So let me get the camera set up and we'll start a little test spot. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to dab a little bit of this compound in there. And then I'm going to take the edge of my pad and just kind of make it so that it's not so liquid and it's going to spray everywhere. like all over my pants once I start spinning up. All right, let's put her down on low speed, see what happens. Well, so far, I think that's going to work. So there's the spot that I did, and there's the spot that I didn't. So you can kind of see the line right down the middle there. Anyways, talk about a difference in the shine too compared to that. And the cowl, there's absolutely no light reflection over there. Anyways, we're going to get up and do this whole side of the fender and top side of the hood. We'll be right back. Holy cow, guys, talk about a difference. Just from this angle here, you can actually see the reflection of the ceiling in the paint. The lights are really, really clear over here, and we pan over here, and the reflection of the lights is actually quite dull. And we come over like this, and I mean, you can tell it's just faded paint. One of the hardest things about buffing on white paint is that the residue still stays on there. Not sure you can see it or not, but right up there in that corner, there's still a little bit on the fender and on the hood. Well, it's because you can't see it. It's a little bit tough to go back over it, but I think I got most of it. I'll go back there and grab that. How refreshing is it to see 54-year-old paint come to life like this from this? I knew it as soon as that buffing pad hit the paint that this was going to turn out great. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up another time lapse for you guys. I'm going to finish up this job on the whole car, and when I'm done, we'll give you the final reveal. I'm not backing it outside today because it is stinking cold. It's like minus 21 and the wind chill is like minus 32 Celsius. And if you have to ask me in the comments, oh, I don't know Celsius versus Fahrenheit. It's cold, guys. Minus anything is cold. If it's minus 10, minus 20, whether it's Fahrenheit or Celsius, it's bloody cold. Anyways, I'm gonna get to work. Guys, there is a pretty big job on a car, is to get it all washed up and buffed out, get that original paint shining back again. I hope you enjoyed this video, because the next one that we're going to be doing this series is we're going to be doing the chrome and the stainless trim on the vehicle, making it pop, bringing it from that dull, faded, pitted look, and actually bring some quality shine to it. And I think Tom's going to be happy with this. As it sits right now, Tom does not know that I'm doing this, and I hope that he's going to be quite surprised when he comes in next time to do it. So I've only done half the car. I've got the other half left to do, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. In the meantime, if you haven't subscribed yet, again, please hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram as well if you're interested in some Olde Carr Guy merchandise. The link is in the description box down below. Guys, stay focused on the windshield, not the rearview mirror. I love you guys. God bless. We'll see you in the next video.